Good morning. Thank you so much for having us today
Good
and
morning.
for agreeing to interview with us. So, could you please start by introducing yourself?
My name is Paul Shoun. I am a patient of Dr. Che's. I am also a 26-year employee of the hospital. So I am a stage 4 lung cancer survivor. I've had quite a journey, but it's all been here at Northwestern, where I'm employed and where I get my health care. So it's a nice merger of these two things.
Right, right. Okay, so you've mentioned your journey. Could you describe your cancer treatment journey for us?
Okay, my diagnosis was not, it was a big surprise. I am a former smoker, but I quit smoking 25 years ago and had a very healthy lifestyle and exercised 3 times a week and had a great diet. And my primary care doc always told me, if all my patients were like you, I'd have no patients because you're always good. You're always good. You have to take care of yourself. And so my first warning sign was I was having problems with my right leg, and I was tripping. And so I went to the urgent care center on Belmont, and they thought maybe it was some kind of neurological problem, and they gave me some steroids, and it seemed to sort of resolve it a bit. But then when the steroids ran out, I was having really bad problems walking, and I had a cane. And long story short, it was June 19th of 2017, and I got home from work, and I could barely get up the stairs. And I called my brother, and he's like, "You need to go to the ER." So we brought me here, and I didn't leave for quite a long time. I was admitted and had a 3-hour MRI at 2 in the morning, and was told the next morning, "You have stage 4 lung cancer and you have a brain tumor, and we're going to have your brain surgeon come in and meet with you, and you'll be having surgery on Friday." So this was on a Tuesday morning. So I was in shock, obviously, and did have brain surgery that Friday. And when I woke up in the neuro ICU with Matthew Tate, who was my neurological surgeon, and I couldn't move my right leg at all. I couldn't move my foot at all. And he said, "It's going to get worse before it gets better." Um, so I was in the neuro ICU for 10 days, and then they discharged me to the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, where I was for almost 5 weeks learning how to walk again. So I was in a wheelchair. And being in a wheelchair is really great motivation to work hard in rehab because your life is so profoundly changed by not being able to walk. And as someone who lives in a third floor walk up apartment with stairs, it was going to make profound changes if I couldn't walk again. So needless to say, I did walk out of the Shirley Ryan Ability Lab, which was my goal, to walk out of there under my own 2 feet, and I did with a leg brace, but another month of physical therapy, and I got rid of the leg brace, and I walk pretty normally now and have. After we were done with that, I began my chemo immunotherapy regimen in August of 2017, with Dr. Che and his team, which the beloved, the beloved staff. Oh my goodness, Dr. Che had some of the best and has some of the best people working for him. Rena Modi, we got to give her a shout out. Rena Modi, my APN superstar. She was one of the finest nurses I have ever experienced, and so of course she's been promoted because she's so good.
Awesome.
But the subsequent APNs I've had also wonderful, 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 wonderful. So my experience, with my team is I feel very grateful for the care that I've gotten. My pulmonologist and Dr. Che and Dr. Gentili, who is my radiation oncologist, and the subsequent APNs I had Trevor, who also was a superstar, and then he got promoted, and now I have Patricia, and I say to her, "Please don't get promoted," because the APN is really the person you deal with the most. I see Dr. Che only after a scan, which is every 3 months, but
Right.
in between I see my APN, and before I was in this whole adventure, this was the first time I was ever hospitalized, basically, and I'm 67. So having lived this, long life without ever really having a major health issue, this was pretty profound, pretty
Yeah.
profound.
Yeah.
So really, really grateful to have wonderful medical care and a really compassionate team, people who are supporting me.
Right.
So.
Great, awesome. Could you talk just a little bit more about your relationship with your healthcare team?
Yeah. You know, early on, we're talking in the very beginning when maybe the first or second time I saw Dr. Che, he said, what I don't want you to do is go on the internet and do all kinds of research because you're going to go down a rabbit hole and you're going to find a lot of information and a lot of it's going to be wrong and a lot of it is going to cause you concern. So I would ask if you have questions, just talk to me. And so that sort of began our very, very open relationship. And I asked Dr. Che any questions I want. And he knows me well enough now that he answers the questions before I ask them now, because he knows I'm going to ask. And I have avoided going down the internet rabbit hole except a couple of times. Because I know there's lots of information there that's just going to make me hysterical and worry. And so it's a relationship of trust, and that's engendered by the physician and by the staff too.
Right. And how did that impact your care?
Because I trusted Dr. Che, and I knew he was doing the right thing, and I frequently say, and he's the smartest man in the room.